Welcome back to Air Gunner's Edge. This will be part 4 of the Diana RWS 48 tune kit. I did receive the tune kit today, which I was actually surprised. A little sooner than I was expecting. I'll go over the parts that came, the little bits and tidbits I did to the parts before I'm going to reassemble. Trigger, haven't touched. I wasn't planning on touching this. I can always go back later. It's easy enough to remove. So we'll move that over to there. Okay, spring kit. This is what came in the kit. Grease. I didn't get the O-ring. I did get a new seal. Actually, I got 2 seals, just in case I need to work on this again, or someone else has one that I won't have to order parts. I'll have it on hand. I did order 2 breech seals. The new ones are white. This was a pain in the ass to get out, to be honest. I kind of mangled it, and everybody kind of said it would. But that's piston seal. The instructions and the grease came in the one package. That's what you get with this. The breech seal was separate, and I bought the extra seal separate. That was 14. I think these were like $4.55, so I got 2. I already installed one just to save time. Okay. So I'm going to see where... There it is. Here, I'll just do this one-handed. It's going to be easier just to move around instead of trying to hold it up. One thing I've already noticed, the wire diameter is the same. The OD is the same. I'm guessing the ID is the same. I have not taken all this off. This just comes as one kit. But as you can see, I believe the wire ends there. I was holding this up to the light to try to get it. So this one is shorter by about 1 inch. I don't know if that's gonna produce less power or FPS or just make it smoother. This is how this one came out of the gun. This is the stock one here. And this is the new one. So, not too much concerned with it, but it is greased inside. You can see the grease already installed in there. I will run the grease all the way up here. There was a little bit of an edge here, so what I did was just knocked it off. I don't know if you can see, and I faced it. Anytime I face anything, steel, plastic, whatever, a hard flat surface, and this marble is beautiful. I just hold this sandpaper down, and I'll run it straight across so I keep it level. But yeah, I just knocked the edge off there, nice and smooth. I just faced off this. You can see a little bit where I did it, but this really no edges here, so I was not concerned. I do like the O-ring. That should help on metallic, any ting. This washer here is sharp as a son of a gun, so be careful if you take this off. Alright, we'll just take this, move this out of the way. I'm going to save it, mark it, what it came out of. I'm actually going to check through my pile of springs later and see if I have something close to that. Just in case I want to, if I'm not happy with this kit, I'm just going to experiment, and I might be able to still use this here, but with a different spring. If I have a thicker wire diameter, then I'll check it out. Alright, let's jump over to the breech seal, not breech seal, sorry, piston seal. Okay, the blue one is the original. It has the markings on the back. Come on, phone, focus. I still need to find a better video system and get some hardware so I can fade in and cut out and all that fun stuff. I'm older. I'm not as technological as some people are with this. But 28.5. Now, with this installed on here, the new one is 2,000 smaller, which I don't mind because I usually make them just a little bit loose. I find that a little too much drag actually does have an effect. You can see the parachute style is deeper on this. This has quite a bit taper on there. This one does not have as much taper, and I'm not sure about this base here, but this is more shallow. Let me try to move it over to the light. This is a little more shallow than the other one. There we go. So we'll hold both of them together. Might be harder to see, but you can see the depth. This seal is, original seal is mint, so I'm definitely saving it and going to mark it with the other parts from this rifle. So I have all the original parts to put back in. There's nothing wrong with the spring, nothing wrong with that piston. So this is the same one. Now for the fun part, the breech seal. This little bugger gave me so much trouble, and I read it was going to. And I was actually thinking about doing this in the gun. No, I wouldn't even bother. This is what it... all right. A little better contrast here. Let's see if we can take the light off. And actually, what we'll do... might be easier in my hand. That's kind of why I didn't hold it up. And that is upside down. Let's see if we can flip that over. There we go. Okay, I tried a small screwdriver to get this out. What I actually ended up doing, and you can see the new one, nice taper in there. I'm sure that may have had one at one time. But what I actually had to do, and it's in there far, as you can see. I even thought, oh, through the hole, side hole is there, that'll make it easier. No, you just could not grab it. So saw someone say use a small propane torch, little soldering torch or whatever. Well, I have that at work, so, but I do have this here, and this took very little time at all, just to warm it up, and that sucker slid right out, as you could see on the old breech seal. So if you're going to think about doing this in the gun, I wish you luck. But I did put the new one in already just to save time. I found something, you want something exactly the same size here, and even if you put this in boiling water, of course taking it out with gloves or something and then installing this would be an excellent idea too. I mean, you blow it off with compressed air and you just oil it after, and it will not rust. I don't know if this is stainless either, which actually is a good question. Oh, it is steel. Okay, the one on my... all right, get off of there. My Hatson Dominator is all stainless inside, which is beautiful because you never have to worry about rust. And I was actually surprised that this was steel. I figured high-end gun it would be stainless, and Hatson does stainless inside theirs, but whatever. I mean, you can see just a little mark there, nothing warped or anything, but you just put a little heat there and that sucker comes out with a pick. I cleaned the inside. I did not hone and polish and all that jazz. I just cleaned it up, make sure there was no heavy gouges, scratches, or anything like that. You gotta remember, this comes from the factory like this, and this thing was shooting awesome anyways. So, and these things last years and years. Ask anybody who has a 20-year-old gun and it's still shooting great. And my German Shepherds are going crazy upstairs. But yeah, this has been, I just cleaned it out. I rolled up some, what was it, 800, and just cleaned it up. I mean, there was no scratches or anything, just to make sure there's no deposits. Little brake cleaner, or no, not brake cleaner. I had paint prep. It's just a degreaser, cleans it all out. I don't use alcohol too often, once in a while, but there are some, obviously this has been used, so there are some spots here. No one's ever going to see it. I'm not getting crazy. I'm not going to polish this. It slides in the gun itself perfectly fine. Don't need to do it unless I just want to say I did it. Okay, here's one little issue that I came across. I wasn't too keen on, so I made some adjustments here. The piston seal goes on top here, I'm sure you know. Inside was looking good. That's just going to get coated with oil anyways. This is fine. All right, now I'm going to actually put the phone up. Give me 1 second here, because this is just going to be so much easier in my hand. All right. This actually, yeah, here we go. In focus. This right here is pressed on here. I had a lot of slop, and you could see this thing going flopping all around. It still has movement, just to make it ease of latching. I don't want to make it totally solid, but I could literally have a big space in here, and this thing was just slopping. A lot of mechanical noise. That's pretty much was my concern. I want to smooth this out. So I took a punch on a nice hard piece of oak. This is the factory here. All I did was take a prick punch to there, while holding this tight, and to there. And I still have movement, but I don't have that mechanical slop of this going up and down. And I've done this actually to, I believe, my Hatson, and there was another rifle. Oh, I think my Cisco. I think I did that to it also, and it helped greatly. So, I mean, it still has movement to slide into the trigger and lock in place. But I just took out some of that mechanical noise. Something, my preference, some people say, oh, don't do that. Well, my gun, I've worked on enough. I've done it before and had good results. So this is what I did. And I will let you know. If I have a problem with it locking, I'll loosen this up. No big deal. As far as putting the piston seal on, I literally have never had that much issues. I mean, putting a seal on, going on this easy. Yeah, I'm going to say it now, but I'm trying to keep it in focus also. Let me see. I prefer not to use a screwdriver, but it's just, I don't know. Like I said, trying to keep it in focus. A smaller screwdriver would work a little better too, flat. Okay, come on. Yeah, little sucker, there we go. I mean, it goes on pretty easy. It's still on there tight, so no concerns there. Goes in the tube good. I have already put it on, checked it in the tube. So, and this is the I forget the total name, but Molly something. It's supposed to be self-lubricating. I've used them before. So, but of course you put grease and everything on here. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there's really nothing to this gun. I mean, I checked for any sharp edges, anywheres. And that's one thing I kind of do like, is using the gun first before I tune it. It just gives you an idea of where any wear spots are, which really none are on here. A couple spots on the tube. I mean, nothing critical. There's no deep gouges or anything like that. And that's one other thing with the stainless. Very hard to gouge out, and it's more smooth. Steel is a little more softer. That was the one beautiful thing on my Dominator I did love, was all steel internals. So, but yeah, all right, I'm just going to get this little acid brush here. I mean, you get whatever. I don't put anything on the face. Anything on the face of the piston seal, I should say. But yeah, I just coat this up good. Don't smother it. But yeah, just coat it up good. See, now if I had more video hardware, I could just do this, shut off the video, and then fade back in later when I'm ready to all install this. But unfortunately, I don't have the hardware, I mean, all the stuff to do that with. So I'll look into it. My brother's a little better at computers and doing that stuff. So I watch these other videos where they fade in, and it's just more professional, and it's nice. I mean, nobody wants to see me brush crap onto onto the piston. Cleanliness. Everything should be cleaned. I mean, I did have this covered over, but this is when I took a nice lint-free cloth, wiped everything down, cleaned it all out. This is when I'm going to install it. I'm not going to do all that, wait 2 or 3 days or whatever, and then install it. I prefer cleanliness, and you'll have less issues when you're just about to do it. So I'm not going to put any in here, because what'll happen is once I push that piston seal in there, it's going to push all inside. Detonation, you know. On the end of here, of course. And if you are going to use this, I don't know if this is actually silicone, but silicone is your friend on piston seals, breech seals, anything non-petroleum. I have black tar, I have all that, and you know what? A good tune will eliminate the need for most black tar. So I actually don't use black tar too often. I mean, if I just want to deaden it down, Chinese or whatever, Chinese air rifle, and I'm not getting too crazy, then I'll do that. But for the most part, a good tune, and that's pretty much what black tar does, is dampens the spring. You will actually lose some FPS with too much black tar. So maybe not much, but that annoying buzz and everything, depending on how bad you can't stand it anymore. I'll just get around here. I just mostly do the spring in case I get moisture, anything like that. It just helps coat it, and it will actually help the spring, because the spring is always moving. Metal fatigue is something you might consider. I mean, I go through, I don't know, I can put 10,000 pellets in a gun very easy. So that's why I do it. Most people will be lucky if they get 2,000 pellets, maybe 5,000 a year. Some people even do more than me, but obviously this is going into the trigger, so I do like to have some in there. The spring is actually going in here, so I don't mind getting some in there. I mean, if you're just bench shooting, bring it inside, whatever. Not going to be an issue. Or if you tear guns apart often, then you really don't need to get too crazy, because it's just more stuff you have to clean up later. But you're out in the woods, you get caught in the rain, or early morning, late, you get that dew, put your gun down for a while, you're out camping, whatever. Depends on how you use your rifles. So everybody's different. I just put a little right on the lip. Just wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle it. There we go. It does go in pretty smooth, so going to put a little here, obviously, as it will be on inside the gun. This is kind of sticky. I prefer actually an oil. You know what? I might actually just wipe some of this off and use some silicone oil. It's just a smoother action. I was just getting ahead of myself here. Let me put that down for a minute. I'll leave a little on there, but then I'll add silicone oil after. Fortunately, I ran out of lint-free cloths also, which kind of sucks. I'm gonna have to pick some more up. They're a little pricey, but yeah. Machine shop stuff, I have just about anything and everything. These come in handy. Making your own pins, which I did for the trigger. Installing the seal. These things are great. Hollow tube. I worked at a machine shop for 9 years, so collection. And actually, I think those were from Screw Press, but something I wasn't even involved or working on. I just knew I could use them later on in life. So, okay, seal is all set. Piston seal, spring. Oh, you know what? I did forget. Just so everybody knows. Before I even did any of this, I matched up the numbers online with my purchase order, and then I matched up the numbers with the paperwork that they sent. So here are the instructions. So they do give you instructions how to do it, use how much grease. Actually, they said to actually use about a third of this, which about I did. So just to let you know, if you do buy this kit, it does come with instructions. You can always look up stuff online and someone will help you, or watch this video. But always double check, do your research, and look around, see what everyone else says and does, see how it works out. And when I get this together, if there's any issues, then I'll let everyone know what I should have done or shouldn't have done. But the only thing I do wish they did, as far as the Diana breech seal, well, it does say 48 here, so I guess you don't need a part number, but I like matching up numbers. 48. No, actually, this does not say 48. This just says the 28 millimeter Diana piston seal. So, I mean, it's written, but I like matching up numbers. That way I know exactly what I bought. But always make sure you got the right kit. So, you start putting it together, you notice that, and then they won't take it back because you already opened it and started installing it. And now you got to buy another kit. So, all right. Here we can do this. I mean, this is pretty much just reverse process. So I don't even, oh, almost lost the phone. So I really don't even know if I should do this because it's going to make it for a very long video. All right, I'm going to cut it here. This is number 4. I will do 5 after it's all back together. Show the smoothness of it, cocking, obviously no dry firing. And I'll see you guys on the other side and let you know how this turned out. And I will let you know if there was any problems installing it. It just go back right in there. So, all right, till part 5, and then we can do some testing and find out exactly how good this kit is, and if it's not up to par to my liking, then I will try the Air Rifle Headquarters ZRT for $99, or I will try to find one of my springs. If I don't like this piston seal that they sent me, I will install the original one back on, since it is in mint condition and it's only 2 thousandths bigger. If this 2 thousandths smaller makes a difference, then I'll let you guys know and we will figure something out and experiment. So, all right, till next time. Thank you for watching.